for watching.
Don't forget to like and comment and subscribe.
What an exciting midweek we had.
Just kidding. It's the midweek wrap-up. It's the last of the normal-ish, if you don't count that intro, videos that we do every week.
Are we running with that?
Yes.
All right.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's the last one you're going to get before, the top 5?
Yeah. And we having a top 5 come out. We got No Mercy predictions coming out.
Lots of stuff happening.
Yeah.
And there was lots of stuff happening on the midweek.
Yeah.
Like main event.
There wasn't a lot.
It happened.
There wasn't a whole lot happening on
There was like 3 things that happened in this midweek.
Only 2 really important things happened, though.
Main event was one of them.
I was talking about those 2.
Of the things that happened.
But only 2 things happened on main event. One of which was a women's match between Natalya and Naomi.
The ones who aren't involved at No Mercy.
Yeah.
So they get
main event.
the BB show.
Yeah. The lowercase b show. That was a great match between the 2 of them. A very interesting end, though, which I like. The more I thought about it, the more I liked it. That Natty went for her step over and then run back with like a basement drop kick. But as she was running back, Naomi swept her out from under, swept her feet out from underneath her, and then wrenched back on a pin. And Natty sat there and went, "Wait, what just happened?" Like, the fact that she was already running for the drop kick, she didn't expect to be rolled up into a pin.
Yeah.
So yeah, a clever finish to a move that Natty uses on the regular. And then our main event.
It's good to see a counter be used as a finish.
Yeah, it's
and not necessarily a counter into a finishing move.
Well, and it was kind of like the Carmella's fall that she got last week on Nikki.
Yeah.
Where she just kind of like rolled her up. So yeah, I mean it's different. It's not we're not getting the same finishes all the time. It's good. Cleverness is key in matches like that. Then our main event was the Tag Team Champions, of course, defeating the Ascension very easily with a gore on Victor. I told you. You all right? Should we go to NXT?
Yeah.
All right. So NXT, we are starting the first round of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic.
Yeah, we have 2 of the opening round matches?
2 of the opening round matches. The first of which pretty much speaks for itself. The Authors of Pain taking on the debuting Bollywood Boyz. This is their first match in NXT.
Yeah, they were in the Cruiserweight Classic.
Yeah.
And, I feel like in the Cruiserweight Classic, they really demonstrated that sometimes a team is not just the sum of its parts. Because I definitely feel like after their performances, they are much more particularly entertaining as a tag team than they are as singles competitors.
They complement each other. They have great tag team work. It helps that they're brothers. But yeah, the singles game is not necessarily their strong suit.
Also, fighting the Authors of Pain is not their strong suit either.
No, it hasn't really been anybody's strong suit yet.
I think Harv got one really good slap.
Yeah, I mean they had a few offensive maneuvers, but I mean it was like this match was only about twice as long as a regular Authors of Pain match.
Yeah.
Where I do believe it was Gerv that ended up hitting the Russian leg sweep and clothesline combo.
Yeah, it was one of the first times that we've ever seen, aside from their very first matches where Authors of Pain fought American Alpha and TM61. It was the first time we've seen Authors of Pain's opponents being able to make tags.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't happen often. It usually only happens when it's not a jobber team.
Yeah.
So yeah, Authors of Pain moving forward into the first round. One guy who didn't have his first round match, but did have a match because he's teaming with his partner, No Way Jose, next week, which they had a fantastic promo.
Can you handle this?
No Way Jose. No Way Jose. Great promo. I'm so excited for it. Please mash up their theme songs because that would be so much fun. But we had Rich Swann in singles action taking on Patrick Clark in in what
I forgot about this.
Corey Graves said this exactly the way I thought. It looked like he just stole a bunch of stuff from Prince.
Yeah.
Because he had the frilly shirt, he had the headband, he had velvet pants. A very interesting change from the last time we saw Patrick Clark. He was decked out in All-American gear. And now he's
covered in American flags.
And now he's hanging out in satin and frillies.
Looking like once he got rid of the shirt portion, he looked like Jimi Hendrix wearing Triple H's ring gear.
Little bit. But despite he did have some good moves. Patrick Clark is a great wrestler, so I'm excited to when he finally starts getting.
It exists.
It's already a thing. Yeah. Okay, well we're gonna listen to that after the video. Patrick Clark's great. I'm excited to actually see him start to get more matches in NXT.
He also blew a lot of kisses at Rich Swann.
He was very androgynous. Is that the word in this?
Yeah, sort of. Very flirtatious.
All right, we'll go.
And he bowed.
Pick your word, whatever you want to describe.
He did like the Triple H curtsy, the old Hunter Hearst Helmsley curtsy.
He did indeed, but he ended the match getting a rich kick, and then Rich Swann hit a handspring into a moonsault and defeated Patrick Clark.
No win for you today.
Yeah. So then we were graced with the presence of Peyton Royce and Billie Kay.
Oh, lordy.
I am so unbelievably in love with Peyton Royce.
What would Sasha say about that?
She's on Raw. Peyton Royce is my NXT girl, and Alexa's my SmackDown girl. I got one on every roster. Yeah, exactly. It's a different roster. It's not cheating.
You just got any of the girls that watch this video disliking.
I'm single for a reason. Peyton Royce went against a newcomer who we haven't actually seen on NXT yet, Danielle Camella. Who's wrestled Squared Circle Sirens.
Yeah.
She was pretty damn good for just coming on for a possible one shot. Though we've seen a lot of Squared Circle Sirens having tryouts lately. There were a couple more with the big class that just had the tryouts over the weekend. But yeah, she had a. You got that song stuck in your head. She had a decent showing, but this was all more focused on Peyton Royce and Billie Kay as they made fun of Liv Morgan after the very quick loss that she had against Asuka last week.
Yeah. So I feel like maybe Peyton Royce could be the next in line for the Asuka treatment. Probably.
Peyton Royce ends up defeating Danielle with a snap fisherman suplex, which was very impressive to see. Good to see Peyton Royce finally. It's been a long time since we've seen Peyton Royce on TV. So glad to see her back in the fold. Back to more Dusty Classic. We had Glorious 10 talking about their matchup next week against Sanity, who we haven't seen debut yet.
And man, was Bobby Roode weirding out Ty Dillon.
Yeah, Ty was not sure what to do with his partner as Ty was, trying to talk about how the training's been going. Bobby was just immediately in there like, you don't need to know about training. You need to understand we're the Glorious 10. We're gonna do amazing things. We're the greatest tag team on this roster. We're
without even knowing anything about them, he tried to run down Sanity.
Yeah. And Ty just kept staring like, what is wrong with you? Like, Ty takes over the conversation, and Bobby does the glorious pose behind him, and Ty's just like, I don't know what's going on.
And he just actually turns like, are you okay?
And then, it's already looking like choppy waters in the camp of Glorious 10. So,
which is a shame because these guys are over AF.
Yeah. So we'll see how this goes when they face Sanity next week on NXT.
Really, I think it's just a big point. They saw what happened with Almas. Andrade Almas came in, wrestled Ty Dillinger, people weren't thrilled.
Mm.
Because they were trying to put him over Ty Dillinger, who's incredibly over, despite they were trying to make him a heel.
Right.
Bobby Roode, incredibly over, despite the fact that they're trying to make him a heel. I think if they are deciding to have him end up feuding with Ty Dillinger, that Ty Dillinger is going to be over enough to get people to view Bobby Roode as a heel.
Oh, absolutely. This is absolutely the resurgence of Ty Dillinger. This is the push that Ty Dillinger has needed for a very long time.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see where it goes. So yeah, they'll have their match against Sanity next week. That's where this whole storyline will begin to flourish. But also next week, things are going to escalate a little bit because we had the debut of Dan Matha, who came down to the ring and got destroyed by Samoa Joe.
Called it!
And Samoa Joe said that things are going to escalate next week if William Regal doesn't fix the title situation.
Let's be real. Dan Matha, Mouthman Prophecies.
Mathma Prophecies.
You're big. Potentially scary looking.
He played for the Bengals, apparently.
But I see your weakness already. All you have to do is one karate chop in the side of that giraffe neck of yours, and you're done.
He is all neck. He is just a long... It looks...
He's a huge torso and a huge head with a skinny neck connecting them with like 3 feet of space.
He looks like... He would have been the... if you've seen Mad Max, he's like Nathan Jones' stunt double. He's just a much... Like... Like if he had all of the gear, he'd look like Nathan Jones from the movie. Yeah. Just a lot more like he could play Slender Man.
Oh, it's too buff. Slender Man has to be slender.
Slender Man got gains, bro.
Yeah, no. Like,
Slender gains.
The love child of Missile Assault Man and Kurgan.
It's
I don't know.
Thank you, Joe.
I'm just curious to see if he ever comes back.
Yeah, no, I mean,
that was.
Hey, if you've got some hidden talent, please come back and show us.
The debut of beating up.
2 weeks of hype for Samoa Joe to ruin it. I appreciate it. It's good. It's good heel stuff for Joe.
Yeah, I mean, Joe tried to nursery rhyme to William Regal.
Yeah, don't do that. Joe, don't do that.
Don't turn into Bo.
No.
Samoa Bo.
Don't even make that
Samoa
a thing.
Joe.
Moving on, we had our main event, which was the second first round match in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, as the Tag Team Champions, the Revival, took on the team of Andrade, Cien, Almas, and Cedric Alexander.
Yeah,
2 guys who made a fantastic team for just kind of like, hey, we had a match against each other. Cool, want to team up? Sure. Yeah. So they had one match, and they were fantastic counterparts to the Revival, and it really helps that, you know, they are the smaller, fast-paced guys. They're able to sell the viciousness of the Revival even better. Mm-hmm. And so when they can do that and then get that babyface comeback, it builds the match even more because they're a lot more sympathetic because you can fucking throw them around. So yeah, fantastic match between the two. A lot of great tag team chemistry between Cedric and Cien. Andrade, though, ends up getting taken out by Dash. He's on the apron. I think he ends up getting knocked down like into the barricade or something like that, leaving Cedric to have to face the Revival by himself. And he's doing a decent job.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of like running back and forth across the ropes and evading a multitude of clotheslines and other attacks.
Yeah, hitting some forearms on the way, but eventually he's in position. Dawson sends him up in the air, and he gets hit with the Shatter Machine, and the Revival moves on to the second round.
Yes. Good job, Revival.
I feel like you were going to say something else.
I didn't know what I was going to say.
Oh, okay. You just decided.
I just didn't commit to any words.
You just kind of let it happen.
I just thought maybe SH was going to start it.
Shit, yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I want to be real. This is a full year now. Like, this is the come around point to when the Revival's career blew up. it was the Dusty Rhodes Classic that put
Absolutely.
the Revival on the map.
Yeah,
last year.
this was their first big test.
Yeah,
and
their semifinals match against, what was it, Finn and Joe.
Yeah.
That really put them on the map for reals as a legitimate tag team of not just two small guys who were doing jobs for established teams.
Yeah. And now they're 2-time NXT Tag Team Champions, and they're still killing it.
Yeah, I think there's a good chance they could end up being the ones to take it.
I'm okay with that. Honestly, there's so many good people in this tournament. Like, we've got some really crazy teams and some very throw-together teams.
Yeah, we got teams like Lindsay Dorado and Mustafa Ali.
We have Tony Nese and Drew Gulak.
Like we mentioned earlier, No Way Jose and Rich Swann.
Yeah, I mean...
Austin Aries has a mystery partner.
Yeah, a mystery partner who... God knows who that's going to be.
Another, like we said, Authors of Pain was a big team.
Yeah.
There's a couple other big teams.
DIY?
Yeah, and then Nico... Bogdanovic.
Dozer.
And
Dozer and Tucker Knight.
Tucker Knight. Those are two big-ass dudes.
We got TM61.
Yeah, and then Tino Sabatelli and Riddick Moss. That's another two big dudes.
Yeah, so we have a very...
There's a good side. There's we have that kind of level where there's big dude teams and then cruiserweight teams.
We have a very well-rounded bracket.
With Rich Swann and No Way Jose doing the 1-on-1.
Yeah, they're the oddball team. Though we don't know. I mean, we won't get into spoilers as to who it is, but I've seen who's in the group Sanity, so I don't know who they actually are going to be in the tournament. So I mean, we could see a weird combination there too.
And talk about a scary-ish combination for not being a big guy team. Kota Ibushi and Hideo Itami.
Yeah, and we also have debuting Bin Wang and Ho Ho Lun, Team Hong Kong. So it's a very interesting, well-rounded bracket this year. Much different than last year.
Yeah,
because a lot of last year's guys are main roster dudes now.
Absolutely, everyone except for Joe.
So next week we have...
And people who are released.
We have Glorious 10 versus Sanity. We have No Way Jose and Rich Swann. Who are they taking on? I can't remember. Nese and Gulak.
Yeah.
So we got two more matches at least set for the Dusty Classic next week. But before we went off the air for NXT, we had the breaking point, which I think a lot of us kind of knew was happening just based on where this gimmick has gone. Cien Almas attacks Cedric Alexander.
Yeah.
Pretty viciously, gets his point across.
He high flapjacked him onto the ring steps.
This was absolutely necessary for Cien to continue to thrive in any way, shape, or form on NXT.
Any other option, then he would have just faded into obscurity.
Yeah,
which he was already starting to.
Yeah, the fact that he was teaming with Cedric was keeping him relevant.
Yeah. And
now that he's going to feud with Cedric, it's going to get him good heel points. This can move him further than a half-assed babyface run. So.
And it made me wonder, once he attacked Cedric, I wonder if he's in the weight bracket able to make the cruiserweight division.
I don't know.
He could be the right size.
He probably could be.
Or even if he's not, probably not far off.
Probably not.
So, maybe what if, Cedric...
He definitely looks like he looks like he's about the same size as Tony Nese.
Yeah. So, we could end up seeing that play off into Monday Night Raw eventually.
Yeah. I think that would, if they're going to move Cien up, I think that'd be a perfect place to put him is in the Cruiserweight division.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Lucha Underground. We open up with Dario's Dial of Doom choosing Prince Puma to be the next challenger for Matanza's Lucha Underground Championship. But instead of the opening match, he moves that to the main event. Which is the first time since the Dial of Doom has been a thing. It's ended up being the main event.
The Doom Dial developed by Dario.
But our opening match was women's action as Ivelisse took on Mariposa.
Yeah.
With Marty the Moth at ringside.
Those hips don't lie.
great match between these two ladies. Some great interactions with Marty on the outside.
Yeah, Marty at one point like tried to kiss Evilise.
He is all of a sudden like just in love with Evilise. It's probably very much the same situation as Sexy Star.
Yeah.
He's easily attached.
Yeah.
But yeah, he like tries to kiss her, and she slaps the hell out of him.
And then Mariposa forces her to apologize. She's like, apologize to my brother.
And he's like, tell me you want me! Oh my god. Marty plays that creepy bastard so well.
Yeah.
But
he wasn't given the moniker the creepy bastard of Lucha Underground for nothing.
Exactly. Evilise does end up picking up the win by stopping the attempt at the Kudo driver and then actually running off the ropes and hitting Code Red, pinning Mariposa with a post-match beatdown by Mariposa and Marty the Moth. And we'd actually see Evilise in the locker room later on where her boyfriend, Jeremiah Gray, Sami Callihan,
Solomon Grope.
he's gone.
Yes,
He doesn't exist anymore. Jeremiah Gray, Sami Callihan.
Sammy Catahan.
Sami Callihan. He'd say, hey, I'm here, you know, when's your match? And she's like, I already had my match. And he's like, what? What happened? And then he noticed that she's like holding her neck.
He's like, oh, I thought you would have been in the main event.
And he's like, wait, what happened to you? And he's like, I got beat down. And he's like, who beat you down? Who do I have to beat up? And he's like, hey, you know, she's telling him that, oh, you're too late, doesn't matter, what are you gonna do? And he's like, hey, we have way better chemistry than you and Son of Chaos had.
Yeah, because she mentions that she wants to keep the relationship outside of the wrestling.
Right.
She has business relationships and she has personal relationships, and she does not want them to mix.
Yeah, because it didn't work out too well for her in Son of Havoc.
Smart thinking. Evilise.
We'd also have Johnny still wants a title shot. He's still bugging the hell out of Dario for that title shot.
Whiny Mundo.
He says, hey, go spin the wheel again. Why is Prince Puma getting a title shot? You know, you need to give it to me. He's like, I deal in fate. It's like, I don't care about fate.
Fate gave me these abs.
Oh my god.
Then really dramatic music as he lifted his shirt up.
Yeah, the abs have their own theme song.
I believe it.
He's like, no, the hard work gave me these abs, and he's like, well, fine, give me the Gift of the Gods championship, give me Sexy Star, and you know, she lost in the match last week anyway, and Daria's like, you're right, but she was pinned by Jack Evans, so next week Jack Evans is gonna get a shot at the Gift of the Gods championship, and Johnny's like, fuck. And Johnny storms off like a little bitch.
Flame on.
Wrong Johnny. Would be pretty cool though. I would expect it in Lucha Underground. And we had match 2 in the best of 5 between Cage and Tejano. Another big epic brawl between these guys. Just hard hitting action all the way through. I mean, there's not a whole lot new that we can say. Tejano was much more direct to take Cage down this time as opposed to last week where they just thought they were doing a one-off. So now that he realizes he needs, because Cage won last week.
Yeah, he's already a step behind, so it's much more urgent for him to try and pick up the win.
Yeah, and so he's very direct. He's not wasting any time, trying to do as much damage to Cage as he possibly can. But Cage is just so much bigger and so much stronger. He ends up hitting the Lucha Destroyer and going up in the series 2-0 against Tejano.
So one more and Tejano's done.
Yeah. Tejano's gotta win 2 straight now just to keep himself in the mix, and then pick up that third one to finish it off.
You know what would be like a super cool, interesting idea that was never done anywhere else ever before? Is if Tejano comes back and ties it up, and then they have a match that doesn't end. Then they're forced to be a tag team together.
I would say WWE copied Lucha Underground then, because they shot this months ago.
Just saying. If that's what happened, I hope you did a reshoot.
You're calling somebody out right now.
Calling out WWE for a stupid fucking idea.
Make them a tag team.
Tejano and Cage, way better tag team ever than Cesaro and Shamu would be.
That's fair. But then our main event is for the Lucha Underground Championship. Prince Puma looking to take back the title that he won first from the Monster Matanza. A hell of a match too. Like if their first match for the championship was something that we thought we'd never see again, they totally ramped it up this time. This was a fantastic match.
This was their first match for the championship.
I thought they had one after. I thought they had one when
because the wheel is only people who haven't fought Matanza for the championship.
That's right. I thought after Puma lost it to Muertes, there was some other time when they did it before Dario got picked up. Regardless, it was an awesome match.
It was.
Puma,
for me, spot of the match. Puma catching Matanza out of the air.
That was ridiculous.
And suplexing him.
Yeah, no, it was. I expected him to move out of the third avalanche in the corner. I did not expect him to catch Matanza,
carry him halfway out to the middle of the ring,
and then suplex him.
Yeah.
Unfucking real. And then he's like, Prince Puma is just ridiculous in the ring. He's so much fun to watch. Is everything he does in conjunction with the strength of Matanza. Like Matanza does he did the swinging deadlift German that Puma just bounces off of his neck and rolls across the ring when he sells it. It's ridiculous to watch. It's not natural, but it's so much fun. And Prince Puma actually is doing a decent job.
Yeah, he countered Wrath of the Gods even.
He countered. I can't remember what he countered that into. I think he ended up just kind of ended up jumping behind Matanza. Ends up hitting. Oh God, I can't remember what he put him down with. I think it might have been a drop kick or. Oh no, it was a tornado DDT. He dropped him with a tornado DDT, went up, hit the 630, and was totally in the clear to win the championship until he stood up and got speared by Mil Muertes.
Yeah, and he did one of these.
Yeah, he cartwheeled on his neck. Ridiculous. And the referee is getting ready to call the disqualification, and Matt and Vampiro had already been talking about how there's leniency in the championship matches.
But Dario's like, don't you dare, this is no disqualification all of a sudden.
Yeah, well, yeah, Dario's at ringside, he gets to call the shots. So then Muertes ends up doing one more big punch to Puma's face, and as he goes back out to stand with Katrina, then Matanza picks up Puma and does a pop-up into the Wrath of the Gods and retains his championship. Puma now is going to be extra focused on beating Mil Muertes because you screwed him out of a title shot.
Absolutely.
So we'll see where that ends up going. But we finished off. We saw a kill shot in the weight room with a funny little cameo from Joey Ryan. Joey Ryan had an envelope for him.
And Killshot's like, who gave you this? And Joey Ryan's like,
I don't know.
Who do you think I am? A detective?
Walking around in his muscle shirt and his short shorts, and he walks away. And so we see Killshot open up the letter, and it's burnt and just charred with the words, "You left me for dead." And Killshot is extremely confused, as are the rest of us.
There's one other thing that we didn't mention, and that was either right before or right after a commercial break.
Oh yeah.
We had something about bunnies.
It was
rabbits.
It was
rabbits or bunnies. And then there was an emblem.
It was TikTok. They'll be here soon. I forgot to write that down because I wasn't sure.
Emblem with one of the tribal emblems. So it was rabbits, one of the ancient Aztec tribes.
Might be.
God, I think that's the one I was mistaking for naked Jason Statham.
Bunnies and naked Jason Statham kind of look the same. Certain angles. It was. I think I know. This has to do with something that I saw during the trailer, is that there's a fourth person that joins the Worldwide Underground, and they have a very Clockwork Orange kind of look to them. So I don't know if this was to set up whomever that fourth person is. But yeah, no, it was hard to tell whether it was part of the show or just something weird on El Rey Network.
I definitely think it was part of the show.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a TikTok. They'll be here soon. Yeah, with a very very strange little vignette in there. So
it's interesting to see a vignette on Lucha Underground.
Yeah. This is the first time we've actually had like a vignette other than like a little bit of story about someone.
Yeah.
That's usually what we get. So yeah, changing up at the Lucha Underground camp. But that is it for the midweek wrap up. Thanks for watching.
Don't forget to like and comment and subscribe.
Click all the links down in the description. Send to all of our social medias where you can talk to us. You can let us know what your favorite parts of certain shows are. Like, what do you think about the Dusty Classic? Do you still was your team eliminated in the first couple matches of the first round? Let us know.
Was your pick the Bollywood Boyz?
We're sorry.
Are you Jeff Jarrett?
Do you work for Global Force Wrestling? Probably
Or
not.
Global Farce Wrestling.
Is that even still a thing? Is Global Force still doing stuff?
I think so.
Wow.
I think they were one
So
of
half their roster went to WWE.
I think they were one of the people who was in talks as one of the people who could buy out TNA, which would be hilarious.
Why would Jeff Jarrett rebuy TNA?
Save it. You'd feel bad.
He's not gonna do that. But yeah, click all the social medias, subscribe, follow us. You get updates to videos. You get updates to new videos over on the Reasonable Wrestling Fans page, where we've got 3 of them popping up this week. You get to watch me drink something nasty. You get to watch us unbox some stuff, and you get to see this man's reaction to Delete or Decay.
Yeah, he'll be there too, though.
I'll be there too. I've already seen it, so it's not going to be as genuine for me. Also, we've got some extra videos popping up on this channel as well, because following this, we're going to be having the top 5 for the month of September, and we're going to be having predictions for this Sunday's No Mercy.
Yeah, so if you're listening to this specifically on the SoundCloud podcast form, you have to come over here to the YouTube channel, because this will be your last video, or your last audio.
This will be your last podcast of the week.
Yeah, you're not going to get the next 2 videos that come out over here in podcast form, so you got to come over here and watch it if you want to keep up with what's going on.
Nor will you get our pay-per-view review next week.
Yeah.
So, once again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you at whatever video you decide to watch next.
Fuck Sheamus.
Fuck Dan Matha.
Joe did that.
Yeah.